Once an umpire, always an umpire. Peter Carey has hung up his white Aussie Rules uniform, but he remains a man of the rules nonetheless, just in another sport. These days, he's the referees manager for the National Basketball League and the WNBL. Carey has a very similar job to the one Jeff Geishan performs for the AFL.
Monday the phone just is in the ear for the whole day. It's just unreal. But you know, the coaches have got some gripes, and you know, they want some answers, and you try and give them as best you can. You have to have a thick skin with that sort of stuff, otherwise you just wouldn't be in the game. We get DVDs of games, and it's reviewing the games, checking the evaluators' notes against some of the calls, and then we also cut up vision to be able to have training and development sessions with the referees.
Carey has been both a football umpire and a basketball referee for much of his adult life. But it was footy where he reached the highest level on the field, umpiring 307 VFL and AFL games over a 25-year career.
My first game was at Collingwood, and that was interesting to say the least. And yeah, it was just, I suppose the early days for me was all about the suburban grounds. You still had Windy Hill, you still had Junction Oval, so yeah, it was good. Just good memories of those.
When it came to coping with abuse from the crowd, Carey had a simple technique.
Show no reaction. You know it's going to come, you know it's happening, you just ignore it and just get on with what you need to do. Because if you're worried about that, you're not worried about the game, you're not worried about what you should be doing. You'd see them and you'd just look them in the eye as you were going down, as if to say, yeah, well, what? And you just, that was it. Look them in the eye and just get in there. And you'd get in there and you'd be spat on, and just, yeah, it was just something that happened.
And as for the noisiest players?
Oh, now we're talking. Chirpiest. Andrew Buse was probably one. Tony Shaw just didn't shut up. You know, he was always in your ear, and because if Shaw was close by, you knew Darren Mullane was just around the corner. Despite
all that, Carey enjoyed being an umpire.
I suppose you enjoy your footy, and it's you enjoy being out there. It's the theatre of the whole lot. You get the front row seat, you know, where a lot of people, you know, don't get that. And I suppose it's the thrill of being involved and trying to do the best you can.
And he was part of many funny moments.
It was a Anzac day. Anyway, we're looking at Sheeds on the boundary line. He's talking to Terry Danaher, and he's got his own. He's telling him. You know. So anyway, Terry comes out and he says, "Oh, Sheeds not happy with the way you guys are going in the first quarter. You're giving Carlton everything. We're getting nothing. You know, we get no free kicks in the forward line. They're getting everything, and Sheeds reckon you're just all over the game and you're killing it." I said, "Oh," and we said, "Yeah, fair enough. But according to me, I've been doing a fantastic job, boys." And off he went.
Carey umpired on grand final day 4 times in all, but it's the 1989 clash between Geelong and Hawthorn that remains the highlight of his career.
I had the first bounce and the ball went down. Gary Ablett took a mark and kicked the goal, so I actually had that play. Once the goal was kicked, we went back to the centre, and there's Dermott lying on the ground. We thought, oh my goodness, yeah, it's going to be on from here on in. And sure enough, he got it back, but no, it was interesting. It was one of the toughest, brutal games. I had this habit, I never used to look at the clock at all in the last quarter. And I remember when Cameron kicked that last one, and I thought, gee, there can't be much longer to go. And I didn't know what the score was. And then as I was running back to the centre, I had a quick look up at the scoreboard, and I saw it was a goal of difference, and it was about the 32-minute mark, and I thought, oh my goodness, got to be on the ball here. Don't do anything silly. And yeah, as it turned out, there was a centre bounce, and then pretty much that was the end of the game.
It was 10 years later when Carey was involved in the most famous incident of his career.
Maybe had the line in mind, didn't get the bounce he needed though. Fletcher, the centering kick, and the mark has been taken by umpire Carey.
That is unbelievable. I've never seen that.
My memories were, it was game 299, and I remember saying to the guys in the rooms before the game, now, big game here, I've got 300 next week, so I don't want no stuff-ups, right? Let's just keep it simple. And of course, I go out 8 minutes in or whatever it is, and I don't know what I was thinking, but the rest took care of itself. It looks as if I've jumped up to deliberately catch the ball, but it wasn't the case. And anyway, it hit, it stuck, and I thought, what do I do now? And the only thing I could do was bounce the footy, because it's never happened before. and probably never likely to happen either. So that was, and then a few of the players, mate, what are you doing? What are you marking the ball for? That type of thing. I think I got tackled by Gavin Mitchell, and even he said, mate, what are you doing? And yeah, and then the rest went from there. Swabby and Rowe were really good. They said, look, you know, they asked me why, how, and whatever. So I gave my explanation, and they said, look, you got your 300s next week. You've got credits with everything that you've done in your career so far. We don't see a need to, you know, drop you for that. But it's not something we want done by anybody else, type of thing. But they needed to run it past Colo first to get his okay, and they did that. And I actually got a letter from Colo saying, congratulations on your 300th for next week. And by the way, great mark.
As for today's umpires, Carey has plenty of respect for them.
On a Friday night, you've got 16 cameras watching your every move. They're mic'd up, whereas we weren't, type of thing. So there's a hell of a lot more scrutiny on them to perform. I suppose it would be a lot tougher. Yeah. Although they don't have the mud that we had back in Moorabbin days and all that sort of stuff.
But he's adamant that making umpires full-time would be a big mistake.
Couldn't happen. They train twice a week. It's not like the players where they could do clinics, they do this and that. You know, we wouldn't get many people going to umpiring clinics. I'll give you the tip. But no, it's just would be too much downtime. So we need to have a job.
All in all, Carey's proud of his contribution to sport and especially the game of footy.
You know, the fact that you do 300 odd games and you do grand finals and you're a life member of the AFL. Which is good, and I don't think you're doing any different. You'd still do the same thing, but to think that you've been involved in the game at the highest level, it's just you feel pretty proud of that.